Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fableheimr and our Shenanigans playthrough here in MISTOVER. Today is a new day. The first time that we have been greeted by Katarina and Stefan, and that is because we have a few fusions to do. Now, I actually went off and did an expedition of my own for science-y reasons, but also because I wanted to obtain the Divine Grand Grimoire. This means I went back to the cathedral ruins, and, well, it was hilarious. Part of me wishes I recorded it, because I was just smashing everything, and it was great. But, as is tradition, we always sacrifice the previous weapons of the wielder. So, to empower our new grimoire, we shall sacrifice our previous grimoire, if I can find it. If I remember what it was, which I don't. So we're just going to put grimoires into this. And you all shall bestow me your great power to roll well. Which, if I'm being perfectly honest, right now, it's not going too well. You know what? Let's throw in a Divine Iron Chain. Maybe the Shadow Blade will bless us. Nope. It's looking like a crit day, my friends. Nah, well. Yep, it's a crit day. We're moving on. The only other infusion I wanted to do, it doesn't require any luck, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my thinking here. Now, this is the Civic Kusanagi that we have received from Masamune. We probably aren't going to get a better weapon for quite some time. And in order to increase it, of course, we could put weapons into it and roll a 1 out of 3 chance to get something that we want. Or, you could take a look at the stat at the very bottom. Yes, HP. If we put an armor into this, say this Divine Scout armor that I don't want, we are guaranteed to get plus 28 HP on this weapon. Now, you might think that's kind of a waste, isn't it? To put a defensive stat on a weapon. But you must remember that our one and only tank is Masamune. Besides, in the distant future... Oh my. This actually rolled really well. Maybe I should save that. In the not-so-distant future, this Kusanagi will be outdated. When we get... What's next? Frozen? Is it even called that? Anyway, whatever the items from the Frozen Mountain are called. When we begin getting that, this could be outdated. And so we can then sacrifice it into armor to guarantee HP. You see where my thinking's going here? I'm thinking long-term. Big picture game plan. But I have a lot to talk about this episode, so let's start going forward. Our quest today is to find the Tribe of the Chronicles. This is the continuation of the main quest, and we shall be venturing to the dark city ruins, because look at this piece of armor. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. Remember what I said about Masamune being our one and only tank? It's time for him to be rewarded for that. Now, I still haven't bought any medium supplies, because, well, I'm stingy. In real life and in the game. So I'm not going to do any of that. I feel like it's best to just discover, by accident, the medium supplies, because they are rather expensive. And then, of course, when the large supplies come into play, I believe the same thing is true as well. In fact, I took so many steps just to walk around this. Ugh. In fact, I believe that when you move on to, like, the frozen forest and so forth... Hey, look, we already found the quest item. I'm not going to trigger it yet, because, well, that's our objective. We'll get to it when we get to it. We gotta go exploring first. It's time to explore. But when we get to large food, I think it's actually a waste of money. It's better to, at that point, buy medium food and just discover large food. In my personal belief. Especially now that they have decreased the size of... Am I standing here? Especially now that they've decreased the size of maps. I don't I don't think it's worth spending extra money on large food. Especially since that's what you're going to find. Ah, oh, the Kusanagi. It's beautiful. I can actually use this. Or I could try and kill the filth. I should probably kill the filth. Because the filth is, of course, the one that gets the self-evade buff. Now, this is the first video in a few days. Sorry about that. Normally, I try to record a few videos ahead of time. Because I have a chronic condition, and every so often it will flare up, and I won't feel like doing anything. And that's what happens. Around the holidays. Such a shame, isn't it? But don't worry about it. I have somewhat improved, and so I have returned. We are here to slay things in MISTOVER. And I know that's kind of just an excuse, but it's the only one I have, okay? 1,000 gold, not bad. No matter which way I move, I'm kind of screwed, huh? Alright, we're gonna get the initiative on the large one. Because that's what scares me more. The other thing I want to talk about? There are a few things, actually. One is that my mind has been racing. Do I just go in with this buff? I think I do. My mind has been racing regarding some sciencey things. And that is the new changes, primarily, the new changes to teaching skills. So that whenever you teach a skill now to a new person, it will carry its rank with it. We've already used that on Rune to teach her Devil's Laplace 5. And last episode, I meant to teach Laohi Sweet Foe rank 4. But instead I taught her Prayer of Love. And for some reason, my brain was just like, yep, this is what I want. And I just went with it. It was a total waste of a skill point. In fact, I don't think I've ever wasted a skill point as bad as I just did then. It's a bit of a shame. But I've been thinking since then. And I think I have 3 sisters now. I have Laohi, Eva, Maria, and Jita. I have 4 sisters. All of them are ready to be sacrificed to teach someone immediately rank 5 skills. And it's actually funny because I was thinking about it, and there's not really anyone else. Like, when I think about all the classes, Dara, as the werewolf, already has rank 5 for basically all of his abilities. If we take a look here, Beast Stroke and Onslaught are his main abilities. Strike, sure, that's for reaching the final column, so that's going to be there soon. So there's not really a point in me sacrificing werewolves to give him immediately rank 5 abilities. And when I was thinking about the Ronin, well, Devil's Eye. I'm going to do this. I don't know if I should, but I'm going to. Oh, that was great. That is the power, my friends, of an Onmyoji. Anyway, what was I saying? Basically, Devil's Eye and Bloodthirsty Sword and Strike, that's all I want. So, enough beating around the bush. What I'm basically saying is that I feel like there's not much you can really min-max by teaching people level rank 5 abilities right away, unless you are trying to level up cooperative abilities. Because as you know, cooperative abilities are incredibly expensive to level up. They require 2 skill points for each level. That's very stingy. I don't like it. So if you're trying to, use a Grim Reaper, use their Shadow Raid abilities, this is actually a real chest. Or, in our case, with Rune trying to use the Star Striker ability, it would be worth leveling up the abilities you want on another character, and then sacrificing them So in Rune's case, we would level up someone else. Well, we would level up her like Frostbind to rank 5 and then teach it to someone else. And that way we can get rank 5 of all of her basic abilities and dedicate most of her SP just to Star Striker. I don't know where this enemy is and it kind of alarms me. And the same thing is true for the sister. With the sister, you want basically all of her abilities at rank 5. So that would be very helpful for her as well. And those are the only two situations I can really think of. So Grim Reaper for Shadow Raid, Sister for everything, and Witch for Star Striker. So I'm positioned to give basically a level 1 Sister rank 5 Sable Cloud, Overwhelming Love, and that's it I think at the moment. But a witch, I haven't been collecting witches because I hadn't thought about this until just now. Technically 2 days ago when I was laying down and couldn't do anything, but now is close enough to then. Also, Masamune is approaching 1000 HP and I'm here for it. Bump. There's something else I wanted to talk about too, right? Maybe? Brain? Maybe there wasn't. I've been thinking a lot about how to maximize abilities. A lot. Nah, you stupid stun. I really regret my mistake with Sweet Love, but I think that's going to be something that I look back on and laugh at. Honestly, it was within like an hour of me figuring out I made the mistake. I was just like, how idiotic can you be? Well, I suppose at that time it was more sleep deprived than idiotic, but I will admit, I am confident enough that I can admit that I make mistakes. I make them basically every video. So it really has nothing to do with confidence and everything to do with just facing reality. Oh well. What's done is done. Now what we're here for is actually very fascinating. Perhaps not fascinating. What we're here for is a quest. Am I gonna kill one of these? Am I okay letting this live? No. We're here for a quest to find the archives, or to find whatever... I'm not quite sure how it's phrased. To find what Heinrich is looking for. Duke Heinrich, of course, who betrayed us. Well, I don't really think he betrayed us. And I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'm really glad that I still haven't spoiled that. Well, that sucks. Oof. If you kill her, I'm gonna be really mad. Yeah, Duke Heinrich put us all to sleep after he had the meteorite and the Book of Ivory. That was rude. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna let Rune recover her own HP. After recovering the Book of Ivory and the meteorites, he put us all to sleep and left, and said that we would meet again soon. Does that sound like someone who's going to betray you? Not to me. Okay, I need to refresh this taunt because you need to heal. Nah, Brad's pretty good. That's pretty good. See, my theory of witch tank, it's there. It's real. Just believe in me. And it. If only I could do masochistic pleasure from the final column. That would make me so happy. Wow, this is awkward. So the optimal route is to go up. Okay. Your time is now, Masamune. Actually, awkward. I can't actually go with that path because the chest is in the way. Unless that's a fake chest? Am I just gonna bet? Yep, I'm gonna bet. It is a fake chest. Hey, I'm good. We did it. Another thing I've been thinking about is, of course, we are nearing the end of the year. The end of the decade. I have 2020 vision Just kidding, I don't. My vision is absolutely terrible. I'm blinder than a bat. But that joke, it's not going to be useful much longer. Anyway, we're nearing the end of the year, so I was trying to think of videos. You know, the usual type. One of them was like, Fableheimr 2019 highlights of our fun stuff. And other ones was like, MISTOVER 2020, what could come, what to potentially expect, you know, videos of that sort. I haven't committed to anything, so don't. Neither of those stunned, huh? So don't expect much. But my point is that I was thinking about what we could do. Not what we could do. That was phrased incorrectly. Thinking about where MISTOVER is going. And I tried doing a little bit... Leave me alone. I tried doing a little bit of research and discovered a few things. Most importantly, though, is that there is DLC planned for MISTOVER, and we knew that. We knew that because of two incidences. The hardest proof I can give you is that when you go to the Steam community and you search DLC, this is how I found it, there's a post from very early on this year, like the third month, January, February, March, from March, saying that they did have plans for DLC content. Additionally, there was an incident recently that I was slightly vocal about, where accessory drop rates were insane. And the reason that existed was because some sort of data in the background had leaked from the upcoming DLC. It's very common these days for the first DLC expansion, whatever you want to call it, to be worked on before the launch of the game. Like, once the game is basically solidified and its form is complete, they will begin working on the first DLC, or expansion in the case of other games. You can think with that if you will, but that's just kind of common practice these days. Well, I don't like the blob and I don't like the mosquito. So I was thinking of, obviously they don't seem too concerned about the current balance of the game. And I don't really blame them. Am I taking this or am I just hitting hitting them really hard? What if I lamp glasses? What if I hit them? Do I have might right now? Alright, here we go. Boop. So they don't seem horribly concerned about the current balance of the game. Could you leave me alone, please? And honestly, I'm not either. I'm Brandon Chin. I'm not too concerned about anything, really. I think that, for the most part, things are in a good place. I feel that you can make a group composition out of almost anything that you want. Even though I do feel like the werewolf is a little overtuned. Perhaps the Ronin as well. And I mean, I make the witch look good, okay? But they all have their roles to play, I suppose. And I think if I had any proof for that, which I don't, I'd probably just rely on the recent balance patch. They focused more on the game mechanics itself, making it less brutal, quote, end quote. But they didn't change really any of the classes. Any of the class changes they've made have all just been fixing things that weren't working properly according to them. So I don't think we're going to see any class changes moving forward. You can probably, I don't want to say take that to the bank, but you can probably count on that. I feel very confident in that assessment. So what that means, to me, this may not be true, but what that means to me is that moving forward they're focusing on new classes and or new content. Again, whether that's good or bad, I guess is up to you. And what that content could look like is, as I was saying, new classes. They have mentioned before mod support. There was rumors at one point in time of that mod support reaching us before the end of December, but it's the end of December. And once mods hit the table, everything is on the board. All you have to do is look at Darkest Dungeon, and mods just basically made that game alive. But as far as classes are concerned, one thing that I think is a pity, really, is they don't utilize movement very well. The only class in the game that really utilizes movement to any real degree is the Shadowblade. And I think that's a pity. Because obviously they've built this 3x3 grid for a reason. And besides annoying us, it has served really no other purpose. So I think that there's a lot they could improve on with movement or classes that move around a lot. This should probably be more of a modder thing, but my theory was something like a Jedi / Sith. Because, you know, they have force push, force pull, they could throw lightsabers, or anything really. That was my idea for modding, but I don't mod, and I couldn't create a 3D model if you paid me $1 million. So, if you're a modder and good at making 3D models and or interested, it's all yours. The idea is free. But another wasted, I suppose, mechanic that is currently in the game is summoning. Now, summoning, quote, end quote, for the Omiyaji was recently nerfed. There can only be one paper turtle and one spiritual Aegis on the on the battlefield at any given time. Apparently, there were some mad lads out there that were rocking multiple Onmyoji. That was an 803 good. Multiple Onmyoji to spawn multiple paper turtles. And all I can really say about that is that you have my respect. If you were out there spawning 3 or 4 paper turtles. I can appreciate that. There's an enemy here. Nah, I don't care about you. We're already done, basically. Our completion rate is already completed. Reached. Achieved? One of those words. My use of... I love words. I love words so very much, which makes me fond of the English language, despite the fact that it is butchered every now and then. But occasionally I can't find them, and it drives me mad. There's a lot of things wrong with me, but that's one of the worst, emotionally. But anyway. So, on the thoughts of DLC, obviously classes is one of them. Summoning and like moving things around, moving people around. There's only one ability in the game for moving your allies around, and that is, of course, the Ronin's... whatchamacallit? Yeah, that's what it's called. The whatchamacallit. So I think that's a big feature they could expand upon. We're already done, and I'm not even done talking yet. So I guess my final thought here for the modding sort of community, modding or DLC, would be the story is very simple to allow additions. Of course, the world of the mist is alien, it's foreign. It can be anything, it can lead anywhere. And we are about to meet one of the characters that could lead us into further territories. God, that was a good transition. After some time, you realize you've been walking in circles. More dots. Yes, it seems that you're lost. You wander around trying to retrace your steps, and then you run into someone along an isolated pathway. Well, this is certainly an encounter that I would have never expected. It's a dandy rabbit, and he's talking to you. It has been quite a while since anybody has come to visit this place. My name is Shylock. Would you be so kind as to tell me about yourself? You tell Shylock you're an Expedition Corps crew called Fableheimr. So, you are Fableheimr. But what brings you all the way out here? Strangers are normally not allowed in these parts, you know. You tell Shylock about the recent events in your journey. So that's why you're here. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but you can't meet them right now. The Tribe of the Chronicles that you're looking for no longer exists. Seeing how discouraged you are, Shylock hesitates for a moment and then starts talking again. But if you want, I guess I could help you. I'm part of the legacy they left behind. At least, I can share some of their knowledge with you. But I must warn you, the vast majority of chronicles accumulated by the tribe have disappeared. If you're able to find and bring them to me, I will help you uncover the knowledge they contain. I read that incorrectly, but we'll just move on. And you should also know that I stay hidden most of the time, following my master's orders. This means I shall not always be able to meet with you. I will do my best to visit you from time to time. Hopefully, we'll meet again. Sore dewa. Shylock's voice actor? 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorites. Of course, there's also the Korean voice acting now, and I have no idea what he sounds like in Korean, so don't take that way. Ah, Lauhi. You're so behind everyone else. Oh yeah, I had a bad thing I needed to get rid of, huh? Join me! Hey, look, Harry. Harry? Hottie. That's how I would pronounce that. Join me in the training camp, because I'm pretty sure I forgot to get rid of something that I got that I didn't like. Yeah, I don't really care about you guys. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I actually got rid of it like a good person. Do I care about this? Not really. She's currently not doing any attacks. Oh, look at this. Hasty. Agility. Mwah. 10% speed increase buff. 10% hit decrease buff. Doesn't matter. You don't need hit. I don't even remember the last time Hasty hit something. Yep, no clue. We're here to evaluate, so please grant me your power for excellent tertiary stats. The only part of this that's good is that weaken resist is pretty nice for a tank. But bleeding speciality? Really? Why does a Divine Guardian only have 3 guard on it? Divine Moving. Wonder if I should identify that just so I can... We'll see what it rolls in tertiary stats. HP, I was right. That's going to get sacrificed. That's going to get sacrificed right quick. What do we got? Hello. Meh. We could try and, like, power level him for Showdown. Although, to be fair, the Ronin is a pretty important piece of our puzzle. Hello. We could use this witch because she doesn't know. Please stop talking. We'll pick her up just in case, but she doesn't know. What doesn't she know? Chaos Blast and Zero Gravity. But of course, one person can only teach one thing. So if we start bumping Rune's Chaos Blast, we can teach it to her. And I'll be rank 5 right away. We'll have to think on this. Because we've committed... I don't know if I like sacrificing Rune. I like her a lot. And I feel like it'll be a multiple witch sacrifice. Like, we'll have to create the ultimate witch. This sounds kind of strange. I'm talking about it like this, huh? Hello. You already identified. We can do some fusions. You guys are up for fusions. That's a pretty good weapon. Can you bestow me your power once more? Please. Just this once. I mean, I can't complain about hit. Hit's like that stat that you know that you need, but you don't want. Because you want something better. Oh yeah, I forgot I already upgraded the one ring of power. And it didn't know what I wanted. But we're here. What up, Marie? Oh, I have to deal with that later. Hello. Guess who we found? You aren't going to believe this story. It's a great story. No. But I found something even better. You tell Stella about your encounter with Shylock. While the expedition didn't go as we had planned, it seems we've gained an ally to help us along the way. Can you call him that? If Shylock speaks the truth, he'll come looking for you again. Yeah. When he does, make sure you remember every little thing he shares with you, in full detail. Yeah, sure, thanks for the journals. So next time we will have to do Sticky Invader. We have no other quests. What are we looking at? Junk. Ooh. 11 defense is not bad. Oh. The problem here is this is 11 to 12. And we're 10. In case you haven't noticed. So I think we're going to be going through the Dark City ruins once again. We'll pick up this Steely. This Steely could be good. Could also be terrible, but, you know, that's the price of rolling the die every now and then. But I wanted to talk about something, one final thing before we end today. Olivia, my fellow bespectacled adventurer. Here is the support lab. You may be familiar with it. It increases your basic ability. And for min-maxing, we have not been leveling up the expand recruitment, which has been a double sword for me. Double-edged sword, because one, this allows everything to remain at level 1, so they don't spend their SP in a ridiculous point, like their auto attack. But this reduces the amount of members we could potentially recruit every week, which sucks. But with the changes, I'm thinking maybe it might be okay to upgrade them, but the min-maxer in me, because I've committed to min-maxing, the min-maxer in me is still saying no. So we're still going to leave that there. We are quite a ways away from that. Ooh, expand backspace. Hello. Yes, please, and thank you. The other one is the increased experience acquisition. I've heard a number of people are not upgrading this as well. And you might think, well, that's strange. This will help you power level more. This will help you... How could this be a downside? And I thought the same thing at first, which is why it has 1 level in it. But if you're gaining additional experience, your core crew, the people that we rely on to really do everything, they're going to level faster. And leveling faster means less farming. So, again, kind of a double-edged sword. It can be up to you whether you want to upgrade it or not. But for now, we're going to leave it where it is at level 1. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. It is for a continuation of the Shenanigans playthrough here in MISTOVER. Remember, this is Shenanigans. If you have anything you want to see, let me know. It's kind of late for me to be saying this, but lately I haven't gotten any requests. So, I thought I'd mention it. Bye-bye!